Comic Uno. Today I'm doing a review for All New X-Men issue 2. So let's talk about this issue, and let's talk about the cover. Love this cover. It's pretty much the Jean Grey Institute team, and I love every character with the Jean Grey Institute. I love that series, and actually seeing good art with them is amazing. We have never seen good art with them because their series art kind of sucks. Both artists that work on it, I'm just not a big fan of. So I'm glad we get to see good art with them. So I really enjoyed this cover, actually. And I was excited to see these characters because I'm a big Wolverine, Iceman, and Kitty Pryde fan. So I was pretty excited to see this. And I really enjoyed the first issue. So I was like, let's see the second issues. This is actually one of my favorites of Marvel now, just because it's very different, and bringing the old X-Men I think is very interesting, because I feel like with different stories we only get to see in the other perspective. We've actually seen a lot of stories where we have the future self comes to the present people, present characters, but we never get to see the present characters actually go to the past selves. And we have the whole future. We know how we end up in this future. Most of the time you have this horrible future, you have no idea how you end up there, and they fix it in the one story arc. But now we know how we end up with this whole Cyclops thing, and we know how this future happens. And these past selves are the ones who are curious. So the readers are in the perspective of the future selves, and we never really get to see that, and I feel like that's so different and very interesting. Just to get to see past Jean Grey, past Scott Summers, past Bobby, just kind of interact with everything and see this, and the readers kind of have the advantage because we know how we got here. So I think that's just interesting. But let's talk about the story, see if I liked it. So we get to see Kitty and Bobby are a little curious where Beast is, really. And we find out Beast goes to the past, say, hey, future sucks. You want to see your past selves? Maybe someone could talk to Scott and, you know, try to get some sense to him. Or maybe your past self will realize what this future is and won't end up becoming future Cyclops. So he has a motive, though. And then the Beast of the past says, why is he doing this? And we realize, the Beast of the past realizes, the only reason he would do this is because he's dying. Because Beast does collapse. No one really expects he's dying, but the Beast of the past, because he is Beast, realizes the only reason I would do this is because if I was dying. This guy's dying. So we find out Beast is dying, which we knew in the last issue, so I'm guessing the other Wolverine X-Men teammates will realize that in the next couple issues. I think that should play an interesting part. But that's pretty much what happens. We also get to see Wolverine react to Jean Grey. Wolverine says, hold on, that's Jean. What? Jeannie? You know, like, he just gets really, really upset because he didn't really get to talk to her. And she goes into the Blackbird to try to find Scott. And he just gets really upset because he realizes that was Jean. And he got to see Jean. That's his love of his life. So this is very interesting. I think this is a great kind of crossover with Wolverine and X-Men, because we get to see the Jean Grey Institute and the Jean Grey Institute characters just with really great art. And something I like about All New X-Men is that it is all the X-Men. It's not just, oh, this is a Scott series, this is a Wolverine series. It is all the X-Men. I think this is a perfect series if you want to get only one X-Men series, because we get the perspectives of both X-Men characters and both X-Men teams and just all the X-Men. So and I love this story arc. I don't think it's going to be the whole series that it's past selves meet future selves, but it's going to be a pretty long story arc, I think, and it's really interesting, and I've been loving it. I love how Beast is dying because of sickness. You don't really get to see that much either. You usually get to see a superhero die because he was a martyr or something, but you don't actually get to see him die because he was sick. And will Beast die, or is this just some part of the story arc? I just think there's so many interesting stuff. It was really interesting just to see the past meet the future. Just see Jean saying, I die, and then Scott saying, I end up like him, you know, and then Bobby saying, I look like him, and just like them interacting of their present selves. I love character development, and we just see how these characters developed and grew up. I wish we could see other characters too, like Storm react to their past selves and Kitty. Maybe they'll happen in another story arc, and maybe they'll go back to the past again, because I would love to see that. I just would love to see every X-Men just look at their past selves and say, I end up like that, you know. I would love to see that, but I think I'll be content with the 5 original X-Men doing that. So will this change Scott's perspective, and will this change stuff? I don't know. I mean, I think maybe just the past X-Men will just realize, maybe the past X-Men will just grow up. And will that change the present? I think this will be important for, of course, the X-Men. I think this will change things. I just don't know if it'll change the present Scott, or the past Scott. Maybe the past Scott will actually mature so much that he'll see the present Scott's vision a little bit quicker than he did in the present right now. And I think with this time traveling thing, it is very hard to do a time travel story, but they're doing it right, because it's very difficult to tell a time travel story because it's just so complicated. But I think they did it right in this series so far, and they didn't make it complicated. It's a very simple time travel story, and it's hard to make a simple time travel story. So I actually really enjoyed this. Before I read The Flash, this was actually going to be my pick of the week, but Flash is my pick of the week, and All New X-Men deserves a 5. Great art. Some great scenes with actually Bobby and Kitty also. And another issue that mentions that, if you saw my A+X review, I mentioned that Kitty is always put to the sidelines and kind of never in the action, but we get to see, oh, well, Kitty's a genius. Kind of forgot about that. And we get to see Kitty is a useful character. And I'm glad that they're using Kitty so much. I think there's actually 3 issues with Kitty in it. And Kitty probably is my second favorite character, so I was very happy to see that. And there's just some really great moments, again, with Wolverine just seeing Jean. There's just some really great scenes in here. And then just, again, the past and present people, present characters really seeing each other. So 5 stars, definitely one of the best issues of this week. If Flash wasn't my pick of the week, this would be my pick of the week. So pick this issue up. I give it 5 stars. Hope you guys enjoyed this Comic Uno, and guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Random Situations. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you later, guys. Bye. Pick up this issue. Give it 5 stars.